challenge it. The one thing that doesn't have the power to challenge things is the Acolyte. Supposedly, if you go off the like to dislike ratio on YouTube, there are more dislikes for the trailer for The Acolyte, which is a Disney Plus series taking place in the Star Wars universe. And it is about, the emerging darkness, the kind of, I guess, the dark side powers coming to the fray during the High Republic era. So, according to my sources, this takes place about 100 years before Star Wars: A Phantom Menace. And I guess that's all you really need to know about it. It's something fresh, it's something new, but Nayan, what do you think of the first trailer for The Acolyte?
Start visually. Visually, it looks good. Visually it looks similar to what we've got from recent Star Wars films and TV series. The Force Awakens and those films, and even The Mandalorian Boba Fett. I think it looks really, really good. It has that same sort of scale in terms of the ships and obviously the cinematography. I did hear, I don't know if it's true, but I did hear that the Acolyte is supposed to be more focused on the Sith and the dark side. And based on that and watching this trailer, you wouldn't think so, because it was fully focused on the Jedi, and then you get a little teaser for Sith at the end. So it's a little bit mixed bag on right now on where the story's going to go, if it is going to follow the Jedi. If it is going to follow the Jedi, then cool. This first trailer is fantastic, because it nails what its story is going to be. If it's focused on the Sith, then why the hell would you show your first trailer fully focused on the Jedi for? Stupid. Me personally, I would rather have it be focused on the Sith, because can you name anything that has been based on a Sith besides video games? Not really, I mean, an argument could be made that, the Skywalker saga, Darth Vader was all about him. Yeah, no, shut up. he was good for like majority of that whole saga, and then even the main focus of the original was purely on Luke, who was training to become a Jedi, but just having a movie purely focused on the dark side and the Sith, I think that would be a lot more interesting. There's a lot to do with that, we've seen movies, in fact, where the villains are getting a spotlight. You have Joker, Venom, to a lesser degree, they're all villains in their own right. So why not just have a Sith helm its own film or franchise or TV series? Acolyte, if what I'm hearing is true, if it is supposed to be based on a Sith, is a perfect way to do it. One thing I really do like is how it's different. It's not fully focused on that Skywalker sort of area, between Phantom and Rise. The last one, I forgot. That's how bad it is.
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. It's not set within there anywhere. It's set before that, which is really cool. It's something that we barely see nowadays in mainstream Star Wars. So I think a lot of people will be turned off because they'll be expecting it to be set between there and hoping for cameos, but I just don't think people are ready for anything new when it comes to Star Wars, really.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because we're in uncharted territory in terms of the timeline based in either TVs or movies. Unless the animated movies covered it, I haven't followed those, of course. But yeah, for the life of me, because I watched this trailer after that I saw the fact that there were more dislikes than likes in the trailer. And so I watched it afterwards, and I was scratching my head afterwards. I was like, what was in there that was so bad? And I just couldn't figure it out, because it kind of had everything that we kind of want and need in Star Wars. I'm not saying that I'm like highly anticipated this. I'm counting the days, ticking off the calendar or whatever. But this is something that we want and something that we need from Star Wars. We need something fresh, something out of the, Star Wars 1 to Star Wars 9. We need something out of that era, something completely fresh and new. And we also want more stuff that's, kind of intrinsic to Jedi, Sith, the Force. And now we're going to see all of that come to light with the Acolyte. didn't mean to make that rhyme. But we are going to have, the kind of dark side emerging and, the Jedi kind of overcoming that. And I don't really know what's wrong about that at all. So the likes just surprised me. Perhaps it's the characters in this, and perhaps it comes from a deeper lore that I don't know or understand. That's probably some, super fan of Star Wars, if that is the case. But yeah, honestly, the visuals, it looks fine. The only thing that I can think of is that I've sat down here right now with you and I've told you that this is something that we've wanted and something that we've needed. But I don't find myself, excited.
I think
Perhaps that's the reason.
Yeah, I think it's because of the way Star Wars franchise has been since it's been acquired by Disney. I know recently, I think last week or early this week, Disney announced that, it's cracked, I think, 10, 12 billion, 14, something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Within the past 12 years since acquiring it. Yeah, cool. But the quality of the content that they've been pushing out hasn't exactly been that great. Force Awakens was good. I think we can all agree on that. It was good.
I love Force Awakens, honestly. Yeah.
It was good. It felt like a Star Wars film, and it was awesome. And then Rise of the Jedi.
No, The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. See, this is... Yeah. The Last Jedi was a huge mixed bag. You had half the population hating it, half the population loving it. And then you have Rise of Skywalker, where the whole population was hating it.
Yeah.
Questionable plot choices as well. Then you have Mandalorian, which was great, beloved. Season 1 and 2. Season 3 came out, and everyone's like, Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett. I mean, you have Andor, which was fantastic. But then you also have stuff like Ahsoka, which was hit or miss. So I think that they're just too volatile in the content that they're putting out. It's not all consistent. You have your highs and you have your lows. It's like MCU Phase 4 right now, where majority is lows, but there have been the occasional peaks. So I think that's why you're probably feeling that way. It's because, you are excited, but you just don't know what to trust because you don't know if it's going to be up here or down here.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. And I think, I'm, at least for me personally, I'm kind of shifting, at least for Star Wars. I'm not ready to say it for other franchises, but I am starting to get to that mindset where I will watch it based on reputation. If, unless we get early access screeners from Disney, then I'll give it a go and I'll take a little stab at it and see if it's any good. But otherwise, if we don't, then I'm relying solely on reputation to see if it is worth my investment of time. Specifically because TV shows take up a lot of time from you. And you don't want to start a show, watch 3 hours of it and be like, oh, I'm not into it, I'm done. That's 3 hours wasted, It's quite crucial sometimes. And so for these Star Wars ones, you just kind of have to see how people are responding and see if you're going to actually like it. That's what I did with Andor. In fact, I waited way too long with Andor. I couldn't trust Star Wars at that point. I waited too long. But hey, the reputation was great and I watched it and it was great. So I can admit that fault in me for waiting so long, but it taught me a lesson on just waiting and seeing how people respond to it before actually getting invested in it. I'm just not at the level where I can trust Star Wars enough to just know that we're going to get instant gold or it's going to, provide some kind of gratification as a fan. Because as you just outlined with the history of, the Disney Star Wars era, it hasn't been all consistent. In fact, I would say it's mostly been pretty shit, to be perfectly honest. Andor, The Force Awakens, they're really your highest of highs.
And Mandalorian Season 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Forgot about that one. They were great too. But yeah, it's just all over the place. I hope that this is great though, because as I said before, it's what we want and what we need. Star Wars is moving in an interesting direction, but for God's sakes, man, I'm sick of TV shows. I just want a movie at least of Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I feeling that or you?
No,
too?
I am. I feel Star Wars is one of those franchises that should be on the big screen.
Right. Yeah.
you just think of Star Wars, you think of the title screen, and you think of the iconic score. I mean, I have the 4Ks and I rewatched it before recently for no reason at all. I just decided to watch it. But hearing that title, sorry, my TV is there, that's why I'm pointing there. But seeing the title scroll up on my TV with the sound on is just not the same compared to a movie theater. You know,
Yeah.
even with, I don't have surround sound, but even with surround sound, it still wouldn't capture that same, thrill. I mean, I remember sitting in Force Awakens for the first time, and I think 2005 was when Revenge of the Sith came out, so pretty much 10 years. And then you hear the score and you see the title, and it hit you right here. You just felt all the nostalgia. You just felt like, oh shit, this is a big moment, and it was. So yeah, I think scale definitely has a part in this, and I think Star Wars is probably one of the few franchises that should be solely film based. But yeah, who knows when we're going to get the next one? I know that they're planning a few things, but there's not really been anything concrete.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. It's something that's built for the big screen. That franchise just belongs there. It really should be on the big screen at the movie theater, because it feels like it's turning into a TV franchise. There's always these Disney Plus shows and never any movies. And holy shit, man! Like, come December, it's 5 years since Rise of the Skywalker. 5 years.
Oh my god, they went by so fast.
They went by so fast. It's nearly 5 years since Endgame.
Oh my god, they went by... Bro, COVID fuck shit up, eh?
Your perception of time's like all over the place now. Yeah. But I a question to everyone watching right now. Did you guys like the trailer for The Acolyte? Are you excited for it? Is the dislike to like ratio on YouTube a little bit unfair? Apparently was the most viewed trailer of the Disney Plus series era, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, jump into the comments. Let us know what you thought of the Acolyte trailer. Let us know if you liked it or disliked it. I'm very, very curious to see if anyone does dislike it. Let us know, because it boggles my mind.